Hello and welcome to this Grammaticus tutorial on Complete the Sequence, a non-verbal reasoning type of question. Let's read first of all what we're being asked to do. We read the instructions. It says, which picture on the right goes in the empty space? Mark the correct answer on the answer sheet. So what we have is we have a series of pictures, and somewhere within that series of pictures we've got a space. Now, in the first couple of examples that we're going to look at today, the spaces are at the end, which actually makes it easier to start with. Now, if we have a little look at the example, we've got quite a simple shape here. We can see it's an arrow, and we can see that the arrow is pointing up, then down, then up, then down. So we've got an alternating sequence. I can see that this shape here is the same as this shape here, which will be the same here. So the correct answer for this one would be B. I'm going to mark B by circling it, and then I'm going to mark it on my answer sheet. Okay, let's have a little look at question number 1. Now, straight away, I can see that I have a shape that is rotating. I can see it's as though it's being tipped over. It's rotating clockwise. Now, when we're doing these questions, it can be quite a good idea to use our pencil so that we can just check the direction of rotation. If I point my pencil up like this, below the diamond shape that I have on the top of that shape, and then I move that round to the top of the diamond shape on the next picture, and then the next picture, and then the next picture, I can see that it's rotating clockwise 45 degrees each time. So for the next time, that diamond shape is going to be pointing down. Now, if I have a little look at all my answers over here, all of them are pointing down. So I'm going to have a little look now and see if I can spot any differences. Well, looking very carefully at these, I can see that some of these actually have a thinner line at the top. Now, if I go back, I can actually see that that line isn't changing on any of them. It's a thick line. So because of that, I can get rid of A and I can get rid of B. Other differences I can spot. Well, if I have a little look carefully, I can see that this one here, D, has got a thick outline, whereas B and E haven't got a thick outline. When I look back at my series I've got over here, I can see they've all got a thick outline. So D is going to be my answer, and I can mark that on my multiple choice answer sheet. Okay, so this question here was a rotation question, and it was a sequence, a continuing sequence. If you remember, we had an alternating sequence, and now we've got a continuing sequence. Let's have a little look at the next one. Now, this is quite a complicated picture. Now, what is sometimes quite a good idea to do is to have a little look and take just one element of each of the figures each time. So I'm going to take this rectangle over here. Now, I can see that we're standing on its end in the top right-hand corner, then it's flat on the left, it's over on the right again, and flat on the left. Now, when I look carefully at those, I can see that actually this shape here is the same as this shape here, and this shape here is the same as this shape here. So straight away I've got an alternating sequence, a little bit like I had in the example. So I'm looking for one that looks like this. So I'm going to go across. Well, I can see that this one looks as though it's facing this way by the direction of this rectangle and the position of it. B isn't, and C isn't. So what I now need to do is I need to have a little look at these and see if I can spot any differences between them. So looking carefully, let's see what we can spot. Well, looking at these, I can see that I have a line here, a little black horizontal line, and in E it's quite low down. In D it's slightly higher, and in A it's slightly higher. Well, let me have a little look on here. Let's see at the height. Well, it's about halfway down. This one in E is far too far down, so it can't be E, so I'm going to cross that one out. Right, now I need to have a little look at the difference between the ones I've got left. And looking carefully, I can see that the line here, this little white line that comes down here, and the light line that comes down here, they're not the same distance. This one here is much thicker than the one here. So I'm going to go over and check, and I can see it's a thicker line on here. So that tells me that the answer is going to be A. Now, looking at the answers and finding differences can be easier than actually trying to spot it this way, because by trying to spot it this way, it's further away, and by doing it this way, it's just easier somehow to spot the differences. Okay, let's have a little look at question number 3. Okay, again, a confusing looking one. So I think we need to really bear in mind what's happening with this. We probably just need to take one element at a time again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little rectangle we've got here now. That rectangle is pointing to the right. Then on the next one, it's pointing to the bottom. Then it's pointing to the left. So it's rotating round the position of that rectangle. So I know that rectangle's got to be pointing up. So that means I can remove C, D and E. And as well as that, if I have a little look, I can see that in the next picture, following the space I've got, it's back to where it was here. This shape and this shape are identical. Okay, then now I've got the 2 remaining, so I'm going to have a little look and see if I can work out the difference between the 2. Now, the difference between the 2 is the position of this. Okay, and on here, one's facing one way and one is facing the other way. So we're going to have to decide which way round that's going to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my pencil on. I'm going to do my pencil this time facing, we've got a T shape here, sort of facing from the flat end upwards. Okay, so from the flat end upwards, it's from here to here to here to here. So I should have the flat end over here, and I should have the rectangle coming off it pointing to the left. So my answer for that one is going to be B. Let's have a little look at just one more question type. Okay, so this one looks very different to the ones that we've looked at before. Got lots and lots of arrows. The space this time is towards the beginning of the sequence, and if you have the space towards the beginning of the sequence, I suggest you start at the other end and work your way forwards. I can see I've got an arrow that's got an arrowhead on each end, and I've got 1 arrowhead. On here I've got 1, 2 or 2 sticks and 4 arrows. On here I've got 1, 2, 3 sticks and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 arrowheads. So on here I think I can work out that I'm probably going to have 4 sticks and 8 arrowheads. I'm just going to check on here, make sure I've got 5 sticks and 10 arrowheads. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm looking for 8 over here. Now, having a little look on here straight away, I can see that B only has 4, so I'm going to take that one out of the equation. On here, I've got 2, 4, 6 on C, 2, 4, 6 on D, 2, 4, 5 on E. So I'm assuming it's going to be A. Let's have a quick count of the arrowheads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll just check the lines as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our answer is going to be A on that one. I hope that's been useful for you. There is a worksheet that you can have a go at completing as well, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Goodbye.